Most Bulgarian citizens would support the accession of the Western Balkans to the EU, but not that of Turkey, if a referendum were held on the issue in spring 2018, according to a survey by the Open Society Institute, Sofia. According to the survey, done in April 2018, among the Western Balkan countries, fYROMacedonia would receive the strongest support as it gathers the approval of nearly 83% of respondents who have an opinion on the issue, followed by Serbia with support of nearly 82% and Montenegro, 76% support. The membership of Bosnia and Herzegovina would be supported by more than 73% of Bulgarians polled, of Kosovo, nearly 55% and of Albania, 52.4%. Support for Turkey's candidacy was expressed by just more than 38% of those Bulgarians polled with an opinion on the issue. Turkey's membership bid would receive the strongest opposition with about 62% share of against 4 of those who have respondents who has an opinion, followed by Albania with nearly 48% and Kosovo with over 45%. Slightly over one-quarter of those who expressed an opinion, 26.7%, would be against the accession of BiH to the EU and 24.2% would be against the membership of Montenegro. Serbia's membership would receive disapproval of 18% and that of fYROMacedonia of 17.4% of those polled. The survey included questions for all candidate and potential candidate countries, the Western Balkan countries and Turkey. The question was formulated as, how would you vote if a referendum were held today on the entry of the following countries as fully fledged members of the EU, when all possible answers are taken into consideration in regard to possible EU membership of the Western Balkans and Turkey. The candidacy of fYROMacedonia receives the highest support with nearly 49% of all respondents with just 10% disapproval, and Serbia has the support of about 47% of those who took part in the survey with about 10% disapproval. The question of the membership of Montenegro in the EU receives the approval of close to 40% with 13% disapproval, BiH 37% support and about 14% disapproval, Albania 25.5% for, and 23% against, Kosovo 27.3% for, and 22.7% against. The question about Turkey's candidacy receives 21.5% answers for, and 34.5% answers against, and it is the only case with higher disapproval than approval. When all possible answers are considered, between 41% and 51% of respondents did not have an opinion or did not answer at all. The highest level of uncertainty is registered in the cases of Albania, BiH and Kosovo, about 50%, and the lowest level, in the case of fYROMacedonia with 41% of respondents, who did not have an opinion or did not answer. In regard to political preferences, the highest support for the membership of fYROMacedonia and Serbia is registered among the voters of the smaller parties, i.e. those beside GERB, the Bulgarian Socialist Party and the Movement for Rights and Freedoms, respectively 62% for fYROMacedonia and close to 67% for Serbia, followed by the GERB supporters, respectively 60% and 56%, and MRF supporters, respectively 48% and 50%. The comparatively lowest support is registered among BSP supporters, 43% for fYROMacedonia and 39% for Serbia. BSP supporters are not against the membership of Bulgaria's neighbors, but have the highest share of people with no opinion on the issue, 45% and 47% respectively said they don't know. Turkey's membership bid receives the highest support among MRF voter, 50% of them say they are for it, but there is also a high level of uncertainty among them. Over one-third of MRF supporters do not have opinion on the question of Turkey's accession to the EU. There is a considerable split within GERB supporters in regard to Turkey, as close to one-quarter would vote in favor of Turkey's membership bid, but 40% would reject it. There is hesitation among BSP supporters too in regard to Turkey, as nearly half of them had no opinion, 1/3 would reject it and only 14% would support it. Among the supporters of small parties, only 16% would vote for Turkey's membership bid and over 57% would reject it. There are no substantial differences in regard to the demographic characteristics of respondents, with just a few exceptions. For example, in regard to the questions of membership of fYROMacedonia and Serbia, the biggest support is registered among people between 45 to 59 years old, with respectively over 56% and 55%, followed by those between 18 to 29 years old with respectively 48% and 50%, and this group has the highest level of rejection of Turkey's membership bid, over 43% with 34.5% for the country. The group of people over 60 years old has the highest level of uncertainty in regard to Serbia and Turkey, over 45%, and in regard to fYROMacedonia, over 42%. IBNA